How big of a deal do you think a two-parent household is for a guy that you're trying to talk to? Like, are y'all like really serious about him coming from a two-parent household, or are you not really? Talk a little
Um,
closer. Yeah.
mm, I don't know. I feel like the divorce rate is so high that the chances of you finding someone that
From a
both
dual
of
parent,
their
it's hard.
parents are still together, it's 50-50.
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna judge the guy
The
off of that.
divorce rate's like 56% in the US.
It's a little under 50 right now. I think it's at
Okay.
45. What do you think?
Ideally, I would want to find like a guy who, comes from a two-parent household because I came from a two-parent household and I know like the values that they taught me growing up. So
Oh,
ideally,
say less.
ideally that's what I would like. But I mean, not to say like, somebody who grew up without a father can't, be a great father or a great husband.
No. What do you think?
I think since I'm looking for a specific, like in a specific age bracket, does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
That conversation doesn't come up because they know what they want, they know who they want,
That's
they
why
know
you
who
like the
they
older
are.
guys because they've already got past that trauma if there was a single parent trauma or
Yeah,
anything like
it
that.
does not matter.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that or with what you said that I never really thought about it. I don't care as long as you're able to recognize how that affected you growing up and you don't project that on me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like when it comes to the two-parent household thing, I actually really agree with y'all, but it goes like two ways, okay? Um like if he has two-parent household, I think he like gets an A plus or something like that. But the thing is, the guy that doesn't come from a two-parent household, see, like trauma is really different for men than it is for women, okay? A guy who goes through trauma, let me preface this with, okay, guys are disposable. We're the disposable sex. We've always been disposable. Always. If you look into evolutionary psychology, we're the ones that went off to wars for thousands of years. We're the ones that when we were going and hunting a mammoth, he stepped on me and killed me. We're disposable. And y'all are what's called the vulnerable sex. We have to protect the women because y'all make the babies. Like, say, like, our city is destroyed because a war happened and like warriors came in and killed everybody. We can still repopulate with just a few men and a bunch of women. We can't repopulate if all the women are dead though. So women are always the vulnerable sex and men are always the disposable sex. Wait, why was I even bringing this? I can't remember. Sorry guys, I really do this a lot. Okay, so yeah, it was two-parent households, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the reason why this is a big deal is because trauma is going to affect us both differently. It's like, so say that like he comes from a single parent household and he makes it through trauma and he becomes powerful and it makes him stronger because of the trauma that he went through. He's respected by society. We love men that come from the trenches and come from a horrible thing and make it. If he's a piece of shit though after all that trauma, he's just another disposable man, honestly. It sounds up, but he's just another guy that's just by like that's why the off rates are 4 times that of women. That's why 8 times after divorce. That's what guys are honestly very disposable. It sounds really messed up, and this is very like dark to talk about, but men are disposable. Okay.
It's an evil world we live in.
But like, so here, let me finish this really quick. So the reason why I bring that up though is because, like I said, if a guy makes it through trauma, it's a good thing. If he doesn't, he's a loser. He's gone. Okay. For a woman though, men really try to pick women that have not gone through trauma, which whether it's from a single parent or being raped or anything in their past, because that goes into your children directly into your children. So we really care about trauma. Like I said, once again, this is only exceptional men usually. The grand majority, 89% of men don't have choices. But the men that have a lot of that like have a choice, like they're picking the litter, they're not going to pick the girl that has trauma usually because of this, like we're talking about. Just like, but and I'm telling y'all, I don't think it's good for guys to have trauma either. The guys that are bad and can't handle their trauma, they're disposed. They're disposable. The guys though that do make it through the trenches and make it through their trauma, we respect the fuck out of that and we love it all day.
What about women who make it through their trauma?
It's not respected the same. Like just look in general and just look at all men and look at all women. Just think about how society sees the two. It's never been, we never put women on a pedestal for making it through trauma. Even if you watch that documentary of women that were porn stars, okay, and most of them even talked about in that documentary about how they became porn stars because they were touched as a child, they had SA, they had things that happened to them when they were little. And the whole point of that documentary was to see how their lives were 20, 30 years after porn. The men were living amazing lives, perfect families, tons of kids, happy, rich, everything. The women though, horrible lives, addicted to drugs, just destroying their life, borderline wanting to kill them, all this horrible stuff. Okay. And it's because trauma destroys women. trauma can build up men or it destroys them too, but we don't care about that because they're disposable. When a woman's traumatized, it's a big deal because we don't want y'all going through trauma. Like the problem today is men aren't protectors anymore. And like we need men to be protectors. We need men to want to protect women. And like that's why a lot of bad stuff happens is because first off, feminism and stuff is like we don't need men to protect us. We don't want no men to protect us. Like y'all should all just be so good that nobody protects us. It's like, bro, there's a percentage chance people are psychopaths. There's a percentage chance that people are sociopaths. We can't protect y'all from everybody in the street when you're walking down. If you had a boyfriend, if you had an awesome brother or something, yes, it's our job to protect y'all. It is literally our job to do that. For all of history, we protected y'all. You're the vulnerable sex. We're disposable. If I died protecting you, that's honorable.
That is.
There's nothing honorable about y'all dying for a guy. I'm telling you, we don't want y'all going through any trauma. We don't want any woman going through trauma. It's just not healthy for the whole society.